All right, welcome back. We're back in my office. Uh, Spring semester here at Rochester Institute of Technology is back in session. Today we're going to talk about this boom pivot, which I love because boom pivot to me screams sailboat part. Even though it's not sailboat weather here, I am excited to make a part that to me invokes a sailing mechanism. It is in grams. We do have symmetry, but I don't really use mirror in this case. I'll show you. I do use symmetric. We got some slots. We've got some interesting ways that some of these extrudes kind of work off of each other. So let's get into it. I am going to use sketch regions today. So we're going to do kind of the stuff I'm seeing here on this top view. We're going to start right off with the palette tool and the center to center racetrack. I'm going to use right click hold to drag my dragger to the left side, and then I'll drag that down to the origin. Close my palette, and my center to center distance is 111 as shown in the top view. And then the full diameter of the left side, that decides our width, so that is the 85. I'm also going to add a few other circles on here. On the left side, we do have the full diameter, center hole, and then like kind of a raised area. And on the right side, we have a hole. Again, we don't want that equal sign, so we'll do a right to block that equal sign. Okay. All right. The hole on the right side has a diameter of 50. The hole on the left side has a diameter of 40. And the counter bore, that little notch area that sticks up, has a diameter of 63. So that's my first sketch region. I did set it already into sketch region down here. We will take this. Yeah, that works. We'll extrude that. The lower section, which is 30. We'll take the wide area and extrude that. The bulk of the height, which is 120. And we'll take the intersection and extrude that, going up. And that's going to be the full 120 plus 6. Oops. 120 plus 6. Perfect. Let's jump right into the rib. So we got a rib here. So we've got this rib tool. Let's add the rib onto the front plane. And the rib tool allows us to create geometry. By the way, this is a profile rib going between two existing geometry. So I don't have to close the loop. I can give it this dimension of 20. And my dimension at the bottom here goes from the bottom of the line to the center of our holes, and that's 70. So I don't have to close the loop. And the benefit of using the profile rib tool, once I give it the width of 17 from the right side view, you can actually flip which side you go, but we want it centered. The profile rib tool, and maybe it's a little different in SolidWorks where this drawing was created. Let's go to the top view. Because this rib was created off a cylindrical shape, we get a little cylindrical shape out here. Hard to see in this top view if that's a straight line. If I were to extrude it, it would be a straight line. If I extruded it from this edge, I'd have a little bit of a gap. So if you have a little bit of a gap, if it's disconnected, you want to push that extrude into the cylinder. But the rib tool kind of knows to make it go flush up against that side. All right. Okay, so the last thing to do is this pivot point over on the left-hand side. And what makes this so interesting, well, you'll see. Let's start with some, we're just going to get into the sketch. We're going to have a couple of circles. We're going to have a line that comes over flat. I'm actually going to go all the way to the center. Down, over a little bit, up a little bit. Okay. Let's get some dimensions on here. This one's 30. This one's a radius, so we can click radius 27. I know this dimension's 15, but I don't really have this height. I can make this point stick onto the top surface there. Oh, I do have this dimension. It shouldn't be 82, it should be 75. And now we're going to add an arc. Let's make it tangent arc. Well, it doesn't want to let me make it tangent. That's okay. We'll just stick it there. And then we can do something like that to select both of those and make a tangent with the pop-up. The radius is given to be 55. And I'm going to go ahead and delete, even though I still have sketch region selected, I'm going to fill this in. Okay, so this is going to be a problem. It's going to fill all the way into that hole that we already created. There's a couple of ways to fix it, but I don't want to go to the beginning here because it sticks out wide enough. You can see in this top view. I need to make sure I'm coming all the way back to that circle. So we're going to do it this way. I'll show you why. Okay. So I'll take that sketch and extrude it. We're going to do a symmetric extrude. And the overall outer width is 61. But I'm not going to add it onto the existing body. I'm going to make it a separate body. So I'm going to take advantage of multi-body modeling here. So I'm going to create a new body. So it's still the same color. It looks very similar. Sticks into the inside, and we'll take care of that. But first, let's take sketch 2 and let's extrude that a second time. This time we are going to remove material. We are going to make it symmetric. And our depth is going to be the inner slot there, 27. Okay. And we are only removing from body 2, not from body 1. Okay. So one of the issues I was having when I went through this on my own the first time was that when I tried to make this cut, it was cutting into the existing cylinder here. So by making this a separate body, I kind of lose that option or that issue, but I still need to clean out the center. So what we'll do is we will use the trim split body option. Okay, the body we're going to split is body 2. The splitting object we will use to trim, and we will pick the inside surface of the cylinder. Okay, the first option, that's going the wrong direction. Let's flip it and trim off the inside. Because the option extend splitting object is selected, it's getting both sides of that cylinder. If I turn that off, it'll only get one side. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I want to make sure my mass is not double counting these two bodies because they overlap. So we'll just use the merge option. And we will grab both bodies to merge. Looks fine. And we have a single body. That looks pretty good based on the picture. Let's see how we did. All right. 2450. And that's a solid submission. Okay. So here we talked about the rib tool. And we talked about a method for creating this geometry that kept the center hole intact and the outside edge. I'm guessing another method you could have done it would have been to make a piece that sticks out and then remove geometry from it, but I kind of liked jumping into the trim body option. It's always helpful to recall ways that you can use multi-body modeling even when you're making a singular part. So hope you got something from that. Actually, I'm just curious. Yeah, average solve time 15 minutes. I get that. That makes sense. That one was a challenge to get the left side geometry correct. So top 100, not too bad. All right, see you again soon.